Hello, dear students. I hope that you are fine with your kit and kin and you are safe and sound and you are happy as well. Dear students, we have talked about the parts of a paragraph, that is topic sentence, supporting sentences and concluding sentences. So I hope that first two parts you have got a lot, but the remaining part is concluding sentence or concluding sentences. So let's start our lecture with a question. Here is the question. Just read it out. There's the question. Yes. Read it with calmness. Read it with peace. Read it slowly. There's the question. You are just reading or just analyzing or solving the question as well? Okay, you have gone through whole of the passage, and you know what's the importance of concluding sentence, because while you were reading the passage, you were reading the question, and you were analyzing that as well, but the things were quite different at the beginning, but at the end the question was something other. So you have to go through the whole passage for its better understanding. That's the importance of concluding sentence. So here we see that the question is at the end of the paragraph. Okay, by the way, what's the answer? Let's see your reading comprehension, how much you can understand or analyze a paragraph. What's the question? Let's go back and read through that again. Yes, I am waiting for your answer, for your reply. Just type your reply, or just keep that in your mind. What's the answer? One to 10. Okay, that's the hint, that's the clue. That its answer is between 1 to 10. One to 10 means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all include the counting from 1 to 10. So not like that once I asked a very minor wage student that please tell me or write down the formula of water. What did he write? HIJKLMNO. That's the formula of water. How I was surprised. What a wonderful point. H2O. So your reply mustn't be like that. Okay, so that's the importance of concluding sentence. The last sentence or the last sentences, concluding paragraph, or if there is one paragraph, there is concluding sentence. So we'll be talking about concluding paragraph and concluding sentence simultaneously, because it would help you write the concluding paragraph in an essay as well. So let's start the topic quite closely, although we have started it already, but very closely now. So dear student, concluding sentence is as important as the introduction paragraph or introduction lines. The ending of a paragraph needs full care and attention, obviously. While writing concluding sentences, we must be very touchy towards the introduction as well, because we are concluding the introduction as well, and we are reminding the readers that what we were talking about throughout the paragraph. So it's very important. So number one tip, that use a connector. We'll be talking about more and more about it in the next slides, what is a connector. But to have some introduction, to write a concluding sentence, do not forget to use transitional words. For example, finally, aside from, on the other hand, consequently, to sum up, in short, briefly, and briefly speaking, to conclude, like that, these words must be used before concluding sentence or concluding paragraph. So these are called connectors. So this is the first step, that use a connector while you are writing your concluding sentence or concluding paragraph. Number 2, link to the topic sentence. Obviously, you have to remind your reader that what we were talking about and how did we start our essay at the very commencement. So you have to remind that through, so you have to link the topic sentence to the concluding sentence or vice versa. Try to remind your reader about your topic and topic sentence. You can simply repeat a word or use synonym for it. Repetition isn't good, that doesn't sound good. So you have to remind that through some synonym or through almost the same sentence, but not the same. Just like that sentence that you used in your introduction, in your topic sentence, you might repeat that sentence, but in other words. Passive of that active, if that is inactive, you may use passive voice, or you may use synonyms as well. So there are so many techniques of repetition of the same sentence or same words. So expand the thought, that is the third one. Expand your thought. A good paragraph ending leaves the reader with something to think about other than the topic sentence. If you express an emotion, ask a related question or make a reflective statement that would compel your reader to think more and more, to think, or you must open the discussion from your concluding sentence as well as you did in your topic sentence. So they would be thinking about writing a new paragraph on the same topic. So you must invite the readers for a new discussion in your concluding sentence as well. So if you express an emotion, ask a related question or make a reflective statement that will surely extend the discussion in the supporting sentences of the paragraph. So that's the next step, and I hope that you have got about the concluding sentence. Now we would present or we would be presented with examples of the concluding sentences in the paragraph, that how should it look like. So I'll be presenting it right now. Okay, here goes the first example. Just read it out. The negative health risk associated with the use of marijuana indicates that this drug should remain illegal. So that's one example of concluding sentence. Look at the second one. Here's the second example. So just go through the second example. It may summarize the points in the paragraph, and here's the recap of the whole paragraph. Because of its popularity, widespread abuse, and profitability, the US and profit from its use. That's use here, not use. That's use, that's noun. Use is the verb with Z sound, that's verb. But with sa sound, that is noun. So that's the option number 3, that a concluding sentence may predict a hope for the future. For example, finally, because marijuana has more value than recreational value, it may be one day recognized as a respected healing tool. My goodness gracious. So you may end your paragraph like that. That's very interesting. That invites some more discussion. Let's look at the next. That's option number 4, how you can conclude your paragraph. That's option number 4. Here we formulate an opinion on the topic. There is an opinion here. Because of the dangers associated with a dependence on marijuana, it clearly should not become more readily available to the public. So that's option number 5, how you can write your concluding sentence. And here we see there's a piece of advice that's written here. Consider writing a Congress representative to ensure marijuana's benefits can be more readily accessible to those in pain. So that's a piece of advice that the people who are in pain, it should be available for them only. Or there may be another option, how you can end your paragraph. And that's a very important tip here, not the option. And what is this? That never announce your concluding sentence. It's very bad option if you say that the paragraph, that my paragraph or this paragraph highlighted why you should conclude supporting, why you should consider supporting the determination of marijuana. Yes. So we see here the extra tip that consider using transitional phrases to begin your concluding sentence. Number 1, in conclusion, because of the dangers associated with our dependence on marijuana, it clearly should not become more readily available to the public. Or you may use finally. Finally, because marijuana has more value than recreational value, it may be one day recognized as a respected healing tool. Lastly, consider writing a Congress representative to ensure marijuana benefits can be more readily accessible to those in pain. So you can use these words in your concluding sentence to conclude in the end, lastly, at last, last but not least, as a final point, finally, in conclusion. So to conclude our discussion, we may say that we have discussed up till now the art of paragraph or writing, and what the definition of a paragraph, and how you can develop a good paragraph, and what are its 3 parts, what is topic sentence, we have discussed that in detail. And number 2, the supporting sentence, how you can write supporting sentences and what are its kinds, examples, explanations, and details. You know quite about that. And lastly, today we have discussed about the concluding sentence, what is a concluding sentence, and how you can write a good topic sentence. But stop, there's one thing to remind you. There is a point of caution. So there are some don'ts. You may say that do not repeat the topic sentence, as I have said earlier, and I'm cautioning you time and again. Don't repeat the topic sentence. Do not go for abrupt ending. Abrupt ending is always bad. You mustn't go for abrupt, for all of a sudden ending, that your reader isn't ready for that ending and you end your paragraph or an essay. That sounds very bad, isn't it? That you are driving a car and you stop that and you apply the brakes abruptly. What would happen? The passengers would have a jerk like that. Oh, what have you done? So you have to stop your vehicle step by step. And similar is the case with the paragraph. You shouldn't end your writing abruptly, that your reader isn't ready for that. So number 3, do not use cliche. Cliche means that don't use the words like so, as you can see, you know, like that. These are cliche, overused words or phrases. And lastly, do not make an announcement that you are ending this writing. So my dear student, hopefully you have got a lot from the session. You have come to know about the concluding sentence, what is concluding sentence or concluding paragraph, what are its do's and what are its don'ts, and now you can write your own paragraph keeping in view all these do's and keeping in view the don'ts as well. Thank you so much, and I hope the next lecture will be more interesting than this one. Thank you so much.